Hi, I'm Vivian the Knitter.
And I'm Emily the Other Knitter, and this is the Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so
Hi.
much for joining us for episode 150. I'm recording from Florida.
We're both in Florida right now.
Thank you. What else? You're supposed to do the next. Thank you for joining us. I can't cut this out. Can you see?
Yeah, I'm all confused because we're both in Florida.
I know.
That changes our script, but
That's okay.
Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're listening on a podcast app or watching us on YouTube. What?
Nothing. We're just very confused. That was take two.
Yeah, well, I'm a little brain fogged because I'm recovering from a pretty nasty cold.
Sick, yeah. Because baby got you sick.
Yeah, for like the 100th time because daycare.
Yeah. Well, we're recording on March 1st. So we had to skip our second February episode because I was out of town. And
February is a short month.
It's a short month, so we didn't have enough time to record something and have it edited. So we'll just I don't know. I'm still out of town. It'll come out in March, the beginning of March. But you know, I'm on baby duty, so I won't have as much just free time to edit. All right.
Sure.
Because I'm on baby duty. Because when grandma's here, baby doesn't go to daycare, so I get him all day.
And all of his daycare sickness.
Yeah, hopefully I won't get sick, because I do not want to get sick.
Yeah, so I apologize for any sniffling or coughing that might not be editable out. So we'll see.
I'll try.
And I probably sound a little bit funny.
Mm-hmm. So, last time I recorded with Allison, we forgot to mention our archive cal, and we're definitely going to do the archive cal, but because I forgot to mention it, that means we didn't give you guys enough time to look through your archive and your archive of likes on Ravelry or your pattern library and figure out what you want to cast on. So, our archive cal is very casual. Patterns that are 3 years or older, preferably in your library. But if you haven't been crafting that long, just, something on the older side.
Something that you have had, like, on your queue, but haven't gone around to, right?
Yeah. And then bonus points for if you use stash yarn, but points don't count, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to start April 1st and end June 30th. So we're just pushing it further 1 month from the previous year.
Right.
And UFOs count too. So I'm going to work on my Yale cardigan, which I started last year for last year's archive cal. So hopefully I'll have it done by June 30th. We'll see. I didn't bring that here because it was too bulky.
Yeah. And extra casual because it's okay if you don't finish it.
You don't have to finish it. Just post it on our Ravelry or Instagram. Hashtag archive cal KCAL 2025. Yeah. Okay.
About covers it.
Yep. I just wanted to get that admin done before we forget because I forgot last time. So let's move right into our whips. You have a couple of whips.
A few. Let's start with my Woodland walk socks, which I realized, I haven't been working on these for a long time, actually. But I put them down for a while.
Yeah, they were
in retirement. Yeah. So I'm on the second sock, and
Yay.
I finished the heel and starting to work on the gusset and then into the foot.
Yeah, once you're done with the gusset and then finished with the gusset decreases, then it goes really fast.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased.
Is there a pattern on the foot or is it plain?
Yeah, there's a pattern on the foot. So there's a little bit of little leaf lace bit that it's like one little panel of 2 leaves wide that goes all the way down the ankle down to the foot.
It's not. I didn't put it in our notes. What's it called again? Who's it by?
Woodland Walk Socks by, I forget. It's a free pattern.
Okay.
I guess it's not on there because it's been a while since I've taken it in.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think I talked about it last time.
Okay.
And then I am almost done. I was hoping it would be an FO by now, but not quite. My Sailboat Sunsuit is blocked and just needs ends woven in and buttons done.
So are you done with all the knitting?
Yes.
So that's a knitting FO.
So, yeah. So I ended up doing the ribbing for the leg holes, which was the last step in the contrast blue, baby blue color that I used for the sailboat.
I like that.
Because
there's no blue anywhere else.
I think I did it because I was afraid I was going to run out of red. Partially. But then I was also like, you know what? I think I would like to add more blue. Yeah. And also, the color work on the sailboat is not that great. So I was like, let's just like help distract from that by adding more blue.
It looks fine.
But yeah, the pattern has it so that the crotch is sewn up, and then you just do ribbing individually around each leg. But I decided to leave the crotch open so I can add snaps. So I'm hoping that I don't know,
enough room for
the
works. Legs.
Yeah, it works out for the legs. I think I may just have to do like 2 snaps instead of 3.
Worst case scenario, you can always
just make them narrow.
No, I was saying worst case scenario, if there's not enough room, you can always add more ribbing to make it a little longer.
Yeah, but I think it should be okay because his legs are not that chunky.
No, he's got pretty skinny
He's kind of
legs.
skinny, yeah.
Yeah.
But so it'll have buttons in the back where the straps connect, and I also added an extra buttonhole just in case for size. Yeah.
Nice.
What were you saying?
Have you tried it on him yet?
Sorta.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, but you know I'm just kind of holding it shut. I think it's a good size for now, and hopefully he'll still be able to wear it later on. I mean, the waist is quite roomy, and then the straps, because I made them a little bit adjustable. I hope that means that he'll be able to wear it for a while, like through the summer.
Cute! It's so cute.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
So that pattern is from a Vogue knitting book called Vintage Collection.
Yeah, because the book is full of, the book itself is kind of vintage because it was printed
2001, I think it said.
Well, it must just be a reprint because the model photos are like, they look very 80s.
Well, yeah, but
maybe 90s.
It says classic knits from the 1930s and 60s.
Right. So, but I'm saying the book itself is like vintage, like not very vintage, but then all the patterns inside were vintage of when it was published.
Let's see. Yeah, it's this one because your version says it was printed in 2001, and on Ravelry it only has 24 of the patterns, and it's not on Ravelry. That pattern, the baby romper, it has a lot more than 24 patterns in the book.
Yeah, it's got quite a lot.
Yeah, so I don't know. So they did. Whoever created this didn't. I don't know how you can put it on there though.
Can I? Can't I? Maybe.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Well,
those are your 2. No, you have another
3.
one.
I just started it. Well, I just cast it on today. I did the swatch yesterday, but this is Fable Knits olive oil jumper, and it's like a sailor sweater with little like the sailor collar
and the flap in the back, and the designer is Helene Arnesen.
Yes,
I had to look it up because it says on the Ravelry page, it says by Fable Knitwear, but then if you go there, you can actually find her name. I found her name.
Well, so I just started the ribbing for the bottom.
It's so tiny.
Well, I have realized after making my home front jumpers that I like a nice tight fitted waist for the ribbing, and also like a long length of ribbing at the waist, which is not fun, but I realize I like it better when there's more ribbing. So
there's some people that like to do ribbing.
Well, that's not me, but I have it in like burgundy. Would you say that's burgundy?
Yeah.
Color.
Burgundy.
Hand dyed tonal burgundy. It's I
forget. I didn't put your
Misha and Puff. Does that sound right?
Did you stick the ball band back in there?
Oh shoot, I just dropped it, sorry. Yeah, Misha and Puff. Studio Misha and Puff Superwash Merino. But so the pattern calls for bulky weight yarn. But I can't bring myself to make a bulky weight sweater. So it's a worsted weight, and I'm just having to math it out.
Yeah.
To figure out.
Let's see how that works out.
But I think it's not too bad. Like there's not a lot. There isn't really any shaping in the body.
Just the waist ribbing that cinches everything in.
Right, and then there is a lot of shaping in the sleeve because it has like a bishop sleeve. But I mean that's kind of like up to taste. I feel like how voluminous you want the sleeve to be.
Let me see if I can.
I think the only part where I might have some trickiness is like the neckline and the collar. I just have to figure it out, but I think it'll be fine. I feel more confident in my ability to figure that out.
Well, it'll be. We'll see what happens, because we're not always good at the math bit.
Well, I think having now done more like pattern drafting and stuff, I think that's kind of helps just like to just like wrap my head around like the why behind the numbers, and then also actually doing the home front jumper because everything was by gauge, which I don't know. It's like it makes sense. Like I don't know why. I just like.
Well, the problem is, however, say a lot of people will say gauge lies, because even like if your gauge is 100% correct, if you took a gauge measurement on a finished sweater, you'll find that it's kind of different in like different parts of the sweater. So you kind of have to take the average.
Yeah,
at least for most people. That's why gauge lies.
Well, I'm gonna be optimistic and say it's gonna be great.
I'm sure it'll be wonderful.
Oh, and then it also has like the little double stripe on the waist and the cuffs and a stripe on the collar.
So are you gonna do the striping on the ribbing like through the whole ribbing, or are you just gonna do
it's a double stripe?
Just okay, so just close to the bottom, and then the rest. It's
two stripes.
Okay,
2 stripes of contrast color, and so I have like a cream color. So yeah,
nice.
I'm excited about this project.
Good job. So I only have one.
Just because it's one that you've packed.
Yes, because I didn't. Well, because I went to I'll talk about the knitting retreat later, but I was there for the weekend, and then I came here directly, so I had to pack for 2 climates. And also, when you go to a knitting retreat, you want to bring like a different sweater every day, right? So you can show off everything. And so I couldn't bring my Yale cardigan, and I'm getting anyway. I'll talk about it next time. But so I actually cast something on so I can bring with me, and I got quite a bit done. So this is the Hatsuki by Revive. I don't know. It's a Japanese pattern, and the username is RIEVIVE, and I couldn't find like her full name. It was just, she says her name is RIE. Anyway, so it's a simple like drop shoulder oversized tee, and when I say oversized, it goes from like the middle of your like bicep to the other side, so almost elbow to elbow. So there really isn't any sleeve. There's on it. It's just really wide. I mean,
it's sleeveless, or it's like
it's kind of sleeveless, but because it's drop shoulders with that
so
part,
that makes it look like a sleeve.
Yeah, it's a sleeve. So
because it's so wide.
Yeah. So you do a provisional cast on one shoulder, and you work it down to where the neck, the bottom of the neck, and then you pick up, and then you start another provisional cast on the other shoulder, and then you cast on, like, you work it down to the bottom of the neck, and you cast on some stitches, and then you continue down, and there's a leaf motif, lacy pattern in the middle that starts like in the middle of the sternum and then kind of spreads like triangularly away from the sternum. And so right now you stop at the bottom of the sleeve hole, and then you pick up the stitches from the shoulders, the provisional cast on, and you start the back sort of similarly, except the back part is higher, and there's no lace in the back. So right now I'm just doing the back. So there are some reverse stockinette vertical stripes that goes down, and I'm looking in the camera right now, and it's hard to see the lace work. I mean, I've only just started much of it. Yeah, I'm hoping it looks okay with this yarn, because it is a variegated kind of, what is it called? Were they speckled variegated yarn?
It's like a light gray with yellow and blue,
and it looks a lot like my.
Yeah, it's funny. I thought it was green, but it's just there's yellow and blue, so I guess I just combine them in my mind.
Well, the yellow is kind of greeny looking.
Yeah, a little bit. And this is the yarn you got from Woolly Good.
Yeah, from Woolly Good, from my
souvenir
my
yarn.
Kickstarter yarn, and it's Oyl, and the colorway is Sea Glass. It's 50% silk, 50% merino. Nice. I was saying that it's very similar to my Miserina, like the colors. So when I was working on it at the retreat, people were like, I know what your favorite colors are. Like, actually, no.
Actually, very off-brand
I just happened to be wearing this and knitting on this, yeah. So I'm actually really happy with it, because it's pretty mindless. Like, you don't really have to think about it too much.
But there's still a little bit of excitement.
There's a little bit of excitement in the front, the lace. So, and their laces, a lot of times laces, you do the lace part in the forward when you're lacing on the right, knitting on the right side, and then on the back side, it's like a rest row where you just purl everything. But there's actually lace on both the front and the back. Yeah. So, cool. But it's not very complicated. When I showed Allison this pattern, she said, "Oh, more leaves." Do I do a lot of things with leaves?
I don't know. Do you?
Well, your socks has leaves.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I was just showing her a lot of patterns with leaves.
Well, I like these colors.
That's gonna be too big for you. Sorry, baby.
Oh, that's not what I meant.
So the pattern recommendation for positive ease was like a lot. It was like 10 to 50 centimeters, something like that. I was like, oh, it was a lot. So I didn't go quite to the 50 centimeter. I think somewhere in the middle. It's still pretty big.
50 centimeters. That's,
I think, or 50,
20 inches?
Yeah, it was a lot. Whatever it is, let me look it up. Oh, I lied. 15 to 40 centimeters.
It's still quite a lot.
Positive ease, yeah. It is a lot. So that's 6 to 15 inches.
16 inches?
15.75 inches. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it'll be fine. Because it's
I didn't see the inches. I was trying to do the math.
Because it's the part of because it's drop shoulder. It's like part of the sleeve, and then you also pick up and do a little bit of.
So it's very tunicky
ribbing, for the neckline. So it'll like it up a little bit because right now it is pretty wide. But I didn't give out any secrets because on the pattern page in Ravelry, it describes exactly how it's constructed with the,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just so you know.
I wasn't even thinking about that, but okay.
So that's that. That's all I have. Other than my purse socks, which I'm not gonna talk about because it's just vanilla socks. But I'll show it when
they're finished.
When they're finished, because the colorway is funny.
BuzzFeed quiz then?
BuzzFeed quiz.
All right. So,
the title of this is this
quiz will reveal which beautiful flower you are deep down inside.
I was looking for like a spring quiz, and a lot of them have something to do with Taylor Swift, like which
that's what you were saying. I heard you saying something about a lot of Taylor Swift.
Like,
I was just ignoring you. I was like, what is she talking about?
I might recognize her songs if I hear it, but I don't know what the titles are. So that would be too much research. That means I would have to like stop and then listen and Google it and then listen to it.
I'm not a big Swiftie, so
I don't think any of us are. Okay, ready? So the first question is...
Oh, we're not going to say what we are?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
For once, I remember that we do that first. Oh,
let's see what you got.
Camera's shaking. Careful.
Okay. What'd you get?
I got Daisy. Daisies symbolize joy, hope, and new beginnings. After all, they're the friendliest flower. You're kind and bring light to others.
I think that's true. That you're kind and you bring light to others. Though the pictures, they're not daisies, though. I don't know what they are. They're not quite daisies. They're daisy-like flowers.
Yeah, they're white flowers with yellow centers.
But
I feel like those...
I think they're actually daisies.
I think those flowers I included in my wedding bouquet. Oh. But I do love daisies.
I do, too. I have daisies in my yard. They weren't doing very well, though. But I got lilac. Lilacs represent nostalgia, romance, and devotion. You have a big heart and lots of love to give. You tend to evoke feelings of nostalgia, but hey, who doesn't love reminiscing?
I don't know. What does that really mean, though?
I have no idea. But I do like lilacs, and I insisted that we had lilac bushes in my current house. And I've only had lilacs once before.
I like lilacs as well.
Yeah.
I wonder what the other flowers are.
Because I don't know. Allison can take it. Actually... Lady Wiggins will take it and she'll because she takes them every single time.
I always have this argument with my husband about like picking flowers or something like for outside. Not that we really have a yard now, but he likes, I guess because he's from like the tropics, he likes the like really vibrant colored flowers, and I like the soft colors. I like whites and like
yellows,
lavender and yellow, and
well, you can have vibrant colors up north. I mean, another one of my favorite flower is the purple cone flower.
Yeah, I mean, I like purple cone flowers, but I guess I don't know. Like, I don't like the hot pinks and the reds.
I love it. And
as much, like I prefer pastels and.
Well, I'm talking about for your husband. Irises, they have like very bright, like bluey violets and purples and even some yellows and whites. So those are, and then tulips, there's like lots of color. They don't last very long, but tulips, they come in all sorts of colors. So you're not really
I don't know.
limited.
I guess I'm not used to the tropical florals. Not even just the colors, but it's like that, like tropical plants are very like structural almost,
I don't really know about tropical, so I like, other than the orchids.
Weird, like, I don't know why it just keeps popping in my head. The birds of paradise.
Oh yeah,
just weird looking. I mean, very cool, but like I don't know. It doesn't make me feel like homey.
Yeah, well, that's because you didn't grow up here.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, enough blabbering about that.
Okay. First question: what's your favorite way to start the day? And there's 4 answers. Scrolling through memories on Facebook, sending good morning texts to your friends and or family, making breakfast for those who live with you, writing out your agenda. It's a new day after all. What'd you pick?
I didn't really like any of them, but I picked making breakfast.
I don't even know why I picked this quiz. I said scrolling through memories on Facebook, because that is one of the things, except it's not Facebook. I usually go through Instagram. Like the first thing I do, I reach for my phone and I look at Instagram before I actually get out of bed. And then a lot of times when your dad is out of town, he'll call me while I'm scrolling through Instagram, but I don't have a light on. He's like, "Oh, are you sleeping?" It's like, "No, I'm just sitting here in the dark looking at my phone." Question number 2. It's breakfast time. What are you eating? So I did not take this quiz like for real life living.
Oh, yeah. I mean, same. Same, because we both wrote pancakes or French toast.
Because I love that, and I don't eat that
But the other options are boring. Cereal, fruit and yogurt, or oatmeal.
Yeah.
And there was a time where I ate oatmeal for a while, but I gave up on that.
Well, I do eat a lot of oatmeal at home, but it's boring. It's just like, it's something easy, something
Yeah.
quick, it's something healthy.
I usually eat a bagel. And, well, I don't even try to eat healthy in the mornings anymore because I have to get up so early now.
Oh, you have to
that,
get
like, I
out
don't
of
care.
the
I just
door.
need food. So I eat my breakfast in the car now, which is really sad. But
Oh, give me a granola bar. But
I can't be bothered to wake up earlier.
Baby eats fruit and yogurt.
Yeah,
basically
pretty much every morning. Banana with yogurt and peanut butter.
Next, first thing on your agenda today. That was weird. Taking a walk outside, doing a little reading, catching up on your favorite shows, meeting up with friends, of course.
I said reading.
I did the first time, but this time I said taking a walk outside.
Well, I used to read every morning while I ate my breakfast, but
you don't have time because you're usually driving.
no, and I'm like too tired. Anyways, like even if I did wake up early
you can't
enough.
eat breakfast and drive at the same time. That would be frowned upon.
No, I do listen to audiobooks sometimes.
So that's like, yeah, I guess, yeah. That's like reading. So I read that there was a study that talking about, how some people like poo-poo audio books versus reading, how physically reading is better than audiobooks, but this study says that's not necessarily true, because when you're a good reader, you tend to skip words, and then when you're listening to the audiobook, you're hearing every single word rather than like skipping like the prepositions and things like that.
I guess I could understand that, but I'm not a speed reader, so I don't think that would apply to me, because when I read, I have to read it almost as slowly as I would speak it, like if I'm reading aloud.
Really?
Otherwise, I don't absorb anything.
Oh, okay.
Like I'll finish a page and be like, I have no idea what I just read.
I definitely I kind of skim read it and then like get to the good parts. Okay. We already did that.
Favorite color?
Choose your favorite color from ones below: yellow, green, purple, or pink.
Well, you know what I chose?
You chose green, and I chose purple, because purple is
close to blue.
Is blue, but with pink in it. Finally, what's your favorite way to end the day? Snuggles with my pet, a favorite board game from the past, sending goodnight texts, a good chat with a friend. You said?
Board game.
I said snuggles with my pet.
I don't have any pets, so.
No, you just have a baby. I think the first time I took it, I said sending goodnight texts, because this is something I do when your father's out of town, or if I'm out of town, I'll send goodnight texts to the people at home.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing.
But it's not something I do every day. Depends on
me neither.
The home situation. But I do love lilacs. I can't wait for my lilacs to bloom. Hopefully I'll be home when that happens. Yeah. Because I think last year I might
always traveling.
Yeah. I might have missed it last year. Missed part of it. So I got the tail end, and they weren't that fragrant anymore by the time I got home. Okay. Back to
knitting.
Yes. Well, back to our crafting anyway. Our fiber content.
Wait, so do you have any FOs?
I do not have any FOs. The last
Do you have any that you don't have with you?
No, because I already talked about it. My lentil sweater. I've already worn it a couple times.
That was a very speedy FO.
Yeah, I knit that in like 9 days.
We were like on a roll. I don't have any knitting FOs, but I do have some sewing FOs, which everything is costumes, Renaissance fair costumes. So last time I talked about the boys' costumes, and I think I had finished my husband's little vest, the jerkin, and so I have
his little vest. Your husband's little vest,
the big vest. So here's the
gigantic
little one,
tent.
the baby version, which he looked so cute in. I'm so proud of myself because I made the pattern based on. I didn't make it. I scaled down the adult version to make a baby version.
Okay.
So, and I think it came out pretty good. And I love like all the little tabs on the bottom.
You did say that when it was still a whip, you were saying that you weren't sure whether or not you had made belly room.
Oh yeah, and then so I did. I made. I faced the opening differently to make more space for the belly, but honestly, it would have been fine the way it was. It's actually a little bit big, so maybe he'll be able to wear it for a while
for Halloween.
So, well, I made the matching trousers, which are just elastic little brown pants. Like honestly, nothing super special, but I really love the shirt that I made him. That's very wrinkly because I washed it, but
is it linen?
Yes, it's linen. So it's got the ruffle at the collar.
That didn't bother him, the ruffle?
No.
Oh, that's good.
And because it ties in the front, so I didn't tie it really tight. And even the ties I braided some silk thread. And then, of course, the roughly little sleeves, which I did elastic, so it was comfortable.
Oh, so you serged the edges?
No, I hand sewed it down.
Oh, okay.
It's I forget what would it's just like, I guess it's just like a rolled hem, but with linen you can just kind of like use your fingers to roll it really tight, and then I just fell it down like that, which is like it is a historical method of finishing linen. Yeah,
I wouldn't know.
According to dress historians that I follow on YouTube. So yeah, he looks
maybe
so
I'll
cute.
include a picture with his face like this.
Yeah. Yeah, so I did not get around to making a shirt for my husband because it was getting late and I was like, I gotta work on my costume so I have time. And he's probably not gonna want to wear a shirt anyway because he always gets hot or whatever. And then it ended up being like really nice weekend. It was only like 71 degrees.
Oh, wow.
And he had just gotten a tattoo done, so like he was like, I should cover my arms. I was like, darn it. But it's fine because I also finished, you can see in the back, we can put up a picture though, updating my costume from last year, which I think I did talk about on the podcast about a year ago. So I already had the overgown, which is made from thrifted curtains, and it has the split in the front. But then the dress that I made to go underneath didn't really pan out the way I wanted it to. So I made a new one out of a gold fabric. And then I also updated the overgown by adding some gold trim on it. It had a different trim on the top, which it came from the curtain that I took off. But I felt like it looked a little too much like a curtain like that. So, and then I also added the trim down the front and on the sides. And if you're looking at on the video, you can see that it doesn't close, but it is supposed to close. It just doesn't close on my dress form.
Because she's smaller than her dress form.
Well, no, I think it's because it doesn't squish.
Oh.
Because it's meant to be tight. And anyway. And then the shoulder roll, so it's supposed to have like the puffy shoulder roll on the straps, but it just didn't look right. I didn't do it right the first time.
You ended it.
I ended it at the neckline, but it's supposed to go like down into the armpit.
Okay.
So it almost looks like pool floaties on your shoulders. But yeah, so I had done it wrong, so I tried to redo it.
A purpose for that.
I think it was just a style, but it didn't look right when I tried doing it, so I just kind of made a last minute solution. So I would like to fix that because this is something I'd like to rewear. And then I made a last minute little matching hat because I looked at some.
It looks almost like a pillbox hat.
Yeah, well, I looked at portraits of women from the time to see if I could make like a simple hat that would look period appropriate, and they did have like these like sort of pillbox looking hats, but I mean it was really last minute, so it just doesn't look the best. So if I were to wear it again, I would want to update that. And then also the sleeves, I took them off, but I want to make them like attached, like detachable, so like I can tie it on or take it off. Also, I forgot, I made the understructure, the farthingale, which is basically like a cone-shaped hoop skirt. Which I originally, for my Anne Boleyn costume that I made a few years ago, I had ordered a farthingale online, but it came in, and it was basically just like a hoop skirt. Like, it looked like a hoop skirt for like a big round ball gown. So it was like that dome bell shape instead of the cone shape. It was like way too wide. It was like twice the size of what I ended up making now, what I needed.
So is it there, under there?
Yeah, it is underneath. So I used a pattern from the Tudor Tailor, which I was very intimidated by it, but it was actually pretty simple, and the hoops are, I don't know if you can see in the video, the hoops are made...
if I pick her up, will she fall apart?
Yes. The hoops are made from cane, like that you would use for a basket weaving. You can just put it on the floor, I guess. But yeah, it really helps because it pulled the skirt out. Because originally when I wore it, the split skirt, it just stayed closed and you couldn't see the skirt underneath. So it really helped pull it together so it had the right structure and right shape.
And it's more aeration down there too.
Yeah, I mean, actually, it kept me really cool because like I had the only thing touching my legs was the linen shirt underneath.
Oh, so you wore that under the hoops, the linen. Okay.
Yeah, that was the only thing touching me. So yeah,
cool, very nice. I'm
Thanks.
proud of you. That's all.
That's it.
That's it. That's all the crafting we have. I do have a bit of Yarny bits and bobs. So I went to Virginia Beach for a knitting retreat hosted by Martha Hulse, and a bunch of my friends from Virginia, when I used to live there, have been going there for a few years, and they've been trying to get me to go, but things come up. So this is the first year I've been able to go. So I met up with my Virginia friends and the friends that I Zoom with, and then I made some new friends, and I met Charlene of the Yarniacs podcast, who I've been following almost since their very beginning, and I've even donated a prize, for a Pearl and Plum bag, way a long time ago, before we started the podcast. So I met her in real life, so that was really nice, and it's like I can when people tell me, oh my gosh, people like listeners, when they meet me in real life, it's like, oh, it's like I recognize your voice, and it's so it was like that for me, like, oh, so it was just like as if I was listening to her in my ears, but it was in first, in real life. So that was really nice. She did a class about iPhone photography and tips and tricks that you can do with your, not necessarily just your iPhone, but if you have an Android phone too. So that was interesting. There's a lot of things where people are like, oh yeah, I remember somebody telling me that, but you forget, and it's good to have somebody remind you that your phone can do these things. So and it was all about taking photographs of your knitting and things, which I do all the time. So that was really cool. There was a discussion about like sweater construction. We just talk about the different construction and like how to deal with like fit. You have different ways of dealing with gauge, or how to solve like fit problems and things. So that was really interesting. But the most interesting thing was being with like knitters that are as crazy about knitting as I am in real life, and sharing what we're working on. And like, of course, it's like as Allison says, is like Comic-Con for knitters and crocheters when we get together for a festival or retreat. You know, we're all wearing our hand knits or hand crocheted sweaters and shawls and scarves and all this stuff, and to see what everybody has made or is making. And so I have in my notes like all the things. So I think
more things to add to the queue.
More things for my queue. And then, you know, a lot of times some of the patterns on Ravelry or where you're getting your patterns from, the picture doesn't necessarily look great, or it might just be styled, so you can't really tell like what the sweater actually looks like. Yeah. So there were a few of them where they had like interesting construction, but you can't tell by the picture because their arm is covering things, or sometimes designers don't want to give away too much in their description page, so you don't know that has you know, interesting construction. So that was really cool. So a couple of those went into my likes and stuff. So nice. I don't actually have it here. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it snowed. We all came in during a snowstorm. There was like 7 or 8 inches of snow. We didn't even have that much snow in Michigan. So a few people had to drop out because I think the majority of people that went were driving, so they didn't want to have to drive in the snow. Back. Yeah. Well, to drive there because the snowstorm was Wednesday. The retreat started Thursday night. Nice. Like the snowstorm was from Wednesday all the way to Thursday, but we got there on Wednesday, me and the 2 friends that I Zoom with, because we were hoping that some of the ladies that we know that weren't participating in the retreat that we know from they didn't come. So my friend Angela from Richmond, she didn't make it because she didn't want to drive through snow, which I don't blame her. You know, in Virginia, they don't have the infrastructure, right? Really,
plus might not be used to it.
Yeah, they're not used to it. It was a big storm, and you know, like they don't have as many snowplows as we do up north. So, to be on the safe side, salt trucks, she decided not to come, you know, and imperil her life. So I missed you, Angela. I'm sorry you didn't come, but you get to see me here. Well, that was it. I just had so much fun, and I can't wait. Fun. I can't wait to see more Yarny friends when I go to the Woolly Good.
I'm so jealous.
In April. Maybe you can come next year.
Yeah, we'll see.
So that's about all we have. I don't have any shop talk because obviously I'm not home, but I do want to remind people again. The archive cal is from April 1st to June 30th, and you have about a month. By the time this goes out, it'll be a little less than a month to look through your stash and your library, your library of patterns or even your likes. Rule of thumb is 3 years or long. 3 years it's been in your queue or your library or in your likes.
Right. Or if you haven't been knitting or crocheting that long, whatever is oldest.
Just whatever. We're very casual. Just post pictures. I look cross-eyed.
I think it's the sun hitting your glasses.
Or something, yeah. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to do
the spiel.
Yep. The show notes for this episode and every episode can be found on our website, kcacypodcast.wordpress.com. You can find us on Instagram at kcacypodcast. My personal Instagram is upstate_Viv, and Emily's is
Emmerdale Crafts.
You can like, comment, rate, review, subscribe, and favorite on YouTube or wherever else you listen to podcasts. You can also join us on Ravelry. Just search for Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast in the group's tabs. So thank you for listening.
And remember to keep calm and carry yarn.
Bye.
Bye.